All right, this one is about losing interest in a hobby we used to have. Do you have stuff? Did you buy stuff like yarn, like knitting needles, crochet needles, embroidery thread, all those kinds of things? And then for somehow, somewhere along the way, you lost interest. I like to ask this question because I think many people are guilty of this. And it could be something like scrapbooking, it could be collecting stamps, it could be whatever the hobby is. But we bring lots of hobbies into our lives. And then we say, wow, if I'm going to knit a sweater, I should knit one for my sister in blue. I should knit one for my other sister in yellow. I should knit one for my other sister in pink. And we buy the yellow, the blue, and the pink, all the yarns at one time. And we never get around to making the sweaters, right? Also, times change. There might be a time of your life where you did do a lot of knitting, and then maybe your eyesight changed and you're not able to see the stitches as well. Or maybe your schedule changed and now you're burping babies during the time when you once were knitting, right? Life changes. And as it changes, sometimes we give up our hobbies in replacement of something else. If you have replaced that with something else, then the question becomes, are you ever going to revisit this hobby again? And if the answer is no, can you give permission to let go of it? And then make a new rule that if you're not going to be doing the knitting anymore, that you not buy any more yarn. Because if at one point you're like, oh yeah, I might revisit that one day, and you keep buying yarn, 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 what happens? One day you're going to end up with a whole room full of yarn with no rules whatsoever. And we've seen that in a lot of the homes we've gone to declutter. People have stopped doing a hobby they once had, but they keep buying the things. They stopped swimming 20 years ago. Yet every time there's a swimsuit sale, they buy new swimsuits because at one point in their mind, they were physically fit and they were a racer and all these things, right? And so they keep buying the suits and the hats and the goggles and the fins and all the new, latest, updated equipment, but they're not honoring that by following through with whatever the hobby or the purpose for that was. So the question is, when this week will you pick up that craft or hobby? When are you going to do that this week? And if you're not going to do it this week, because if we walk ourselves through Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, you got the coaching call on Thursday. On Friday, you've got a mastermind meeting. You got a business meeting on Saturday. You've got a community thing on Sunday. If there's not a time this week you're going to pick up the hobby, you're probably not going to pick it up next week either. People tend to repeat things in their lives every week and every month. If there's not a time on your schedule right now, probably not going to do it again, right? What would have to change in my life for me to pick up this hobby again? What would have to change? And then you have to be really clear about it, because if you're thinking, well, I'm going to buy all this big yarn because it's on sale, what would have to change? I'd have to change a whole lot of stuff to my evening schedule for me to be able to sit there for an hour and knit sweaters. If that's not going to happen, it's not a sale.